Plenty. It'll be a bunch of them.
Fucking yeah.
Right? It'll be a bunch of them. I got the timer set up. We're ready to go. We done took all the labels off of shit, so we don't get no branding from motherfuckers we don't want to brand with. That's just how it rolls.
Yeah, we ain't out here giving out your
All right,
free fucking. Nobody giving us shit free.
Ain't nobody giving us shit free. What's going on? It's Cowboy here, one half of the Ignorant Nerds.
Along with Chuck, the other half of the Ignorant Nerds.
Welcome back to episode 3. So in episode 3, we are basically going to go through some things about coming back into the range. So we did episode 1, the first purchase.
Yeah, we did the second episode. You got your firearm.
Got home, right? Okay.
Now, you got your firearm home. You did all your due diligence, watched some videos, got familiar with the firearm, lubricated it. Now you're taking your first trip to the range. So today's episode is about you taking your first trip to the range and how we can help circumvent that process to make it as smooth as possible.
Okay, so real quick, we want to get into it because we want to try to get the program a little bit sped up for you guys. We understand that there's some folks that don't want to sit here and listen to us for 2 hours solid. We'll try to make it more interesting and a little more quick.
Yeah, fuck off.
This might go 2 hours.
We got some shit to say, and we're going to say what we got to say.
Exactly. We're going to
People who rock with us.
Okay, so let's do this.
Hold on. Oh, I got some.
Okay.
Brownsville, Brooklyn, stand up.
Hold on. Let's do this like this. We got some new shit for them.
Brownsville, Brooklyn, stand up. Y'all know what it is.
There you go. See We're advancing here.
Yeah,
we're not the most technical of motherfuckers when it comes to this video editing stuff. When it comes to gun shit, we know a good bit of shit.
When it comes to shooting, we know even more shit.
Exactly. But bear with us while we get the editing stuff. We understand that. We will be getting the smaller parts and cutouts of the main podcast. We want to service everybody. We want everybody to be happy. We know people want to jump to certain spots they want to hear.
Absolutely.
But we would hope that you would at least take a Sunday or a Saturday or something whenever you get some time. Watch the whole podcast. It helps us out with the algorithm.
If you rock with the Ignorant Nerds, just watch the podcast. I'm sure it's a gem in there for everybody, right? Especially if you're new to this. Just pay attention. You know, I know everybody's attention span is short, right? It's hard to keep everybody's attention for long. Right. But I promise you, there's something in there for everybody. All right, so rock out with us, right?
Rock out with us, and it helps the algorithm. Like I said earlier, it helps us with monetization and stuff like that. We're going to be frank with you. We're looking to get monetized. We're looking to get some branding and sponsors and stuff like that. And that makes it easier on us to provide better content. Yeah. For you guys.
And more content.
And more content. And we'll be visiting new thing, gun shows, and doing some satellite and remote stuff from gun shows, probably SHOT Show 2025. We'll hit that. We'll make sure we get out there and do some things and try to travel around and get some insight from around at least the southeast area where we're at, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee type stuff.
And I'm not trying to leak too much, but we got a special little giveaway coming. And nothing too crazy, but we just want to say thank you for all the people that subscribe, that like, that watch, who took their time out, their busy day. So we got some things we want to kind of share with you guys coming in a very near future.
Special interviews coming?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Special
we're gonna keep that quiet right now.
But we'll
we got some. We working.
Yep. Let's get into it. Okay. So first things first, we want to talk about coming back, entering the range, firearm loaded or unloaded. So and that's not a question to you, of course, because we already know the answer that you're going to give. But for the new shooters, the new gun owners, it is improper etiquette to roll up with a loaded firearm in your bag. Number one, it definitely leads to more accidents and mishaps.
So this is back to the do's and the don'ts of what we're getting ready to do, right?
Right.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah,
right.
Pretty much.
That's right.
So entering the range, loaded or unloaded firearm, unholstering the firearm while you're in the store, if it is in the holster on your person, bringing the firearm in a case or a bag, what's the better look? So on my end of it, I think I would feel a little bit weird coming in, just walking down the street with an AR. I know some people do it. They don't care. It's 2A freedom. I'm just saying the perception. Right?
Because that's a two-way street, right?
Because you don't want people who passing by, this is random dude walking up the street, because some people don't know, let's say Bullseye, for instance. Correct. Some people don't know what's up there. Right. They're just traveling through downtown, right?
Correct.
And now they see me popping out the car and I got an AR up in the air, toting just walking randomly down the sidewalk. You might get a random call.
Yeah.
Right?
Are we going political on this one? Because it's also depending on wherever you are and what... If you black and you in a certain area, don't be walking out here with no firearm pointing in the air like the gentleman just said. I promise you that can lead to some different issues other than, let's say, the other counterparts.
Right.
Well, we don't want to get too political.
Yeah, we're not going to get political into it, but it's just proper etiquette. Have something covered up in the range bag. It's almost like EDC, everyday carry. You don't want to open. Well, I'm not going to say.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm not going to say you don't want to open carry. You can open carry as much as you want to, but it's better that the assailant doesn't know that you are armed.
All right, so you do what you want to do, but we talking about entering the fire. We talking about entering the gun shop to go to the range, right?
Right.
So as a me being behind the counter, the proper way to come into a fire is with a let's say if you got a rifle, a long gun, right, or a pistol, it doesn't matter. Have it in unholstered. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm talking about unholstered.
Right.
Have it in a range bag.
Right.
No magazine in the firearm.
That's correct.
Possibly, if you can have a chamber flag in there, put a chamber flag in there.
Or
with the bolt lock back.
Lock back, right? That's right.
And if you do not have a range bag, even though we prefer you have a range bag, this is the proper way to do it. Not with the rifle slung over with a 30-round magazine and then you just walk into the store. Everybody in the range, everybody in the shop pretty much got firearms on them, so it looked bad when you just come in there with the rifle slung across you. So what you want to do...
Pistol as well.
Pistol as well, correct. Right. With the pistol in your hand, right? If you got the pistol holstered, I'm fine with it. Just make sure you don't take the unholstered.
All right.
Right? I'm fine. As long as if it's holstered, you good. But it's when it's not in a range bag or it's in your hand. That's when it becomes an issue.
Yeah. And then there are some stores that do not want you to come into the store at
all
armed with anything loaded.
That's right.
Right? And then there are some stores that are kind of lax on that, your everyday carry. And I don't mean lax by they're not compliant or something like that. I'm just saying the rules are easy because they understand and they're a lot more 2A.
Yeah.
And they understand people are going to have everyday carries on them. They're walking into a gun store. They're coming to shoot in the range. Those are the type of people who have EDCs.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And I could understand both ways. I could understand stores who don't want you to come in there because I work there, right?
Right.
So I've seen some of the most nefarious things where people come in, hey, do you guys got a holster for? And they start swinging firearms around, right? And I also understand the person who say, hey, this is my Second Amendment right. I should be able to carry my firearm on me. So I understand both ways, as long as we being safe.
Right.
Safety is the number one rule.
And I think the reason is this, right? Because some stores, talking about unloaded, right? Some stores don't know if you have your personal firearm in your hand, pointing it around in the store, trying to check it out, or it's one from behind the case and someone's helping you.
Correct.
Right? So I can kind of get a little bit of why somebody would say, hey, no loaded firearms.
Absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
There's certain situations where you don't know if that's that guy unholstered his firearm or if he's looking at something.
And not only that, it's a lot of customers who are new, right? And they come in with the perception that the firearm is unloaded, right? So what they do is they'll drop the magazine. Once the magazine is out, to them, the firearm is not loaded. But they forgot it's around in the chamber.
Right.
So it goes back to just safety, right? So I understand keep your firearm in a range bag at all times and not having a firearm on your person. So I understand that.
Okay, so unloaded, right? Whatever guns you are planning to come shoot at the range, have them unloaded in the bag, have them, breached, locked back, right? Slide locked on pistols, bolt locked on rifles, and make sure that whatever firearm you have in the holster, don't unholster it.
Correct.
Okay. Or if it's holstered, if there's no magazine in it and it's in slide lock in the holster, I think that's something that you can kind of show on your hip. But
Absolutely.
I don't know why you would do that walking in.
I mean,
I'm just proposing it, but I'm saying you would.
I'm going to speak for my store. We're not walking around looking at everybody's hips and everything.
Right.
Look, if you got a firearm on you, fine, right? Just don't unholster, right? If any question you have to ask me about your firearm, I can answer it while your gun is still in the holster. So let's say if you need an extra magazine, you should know what firearm you got. You should know what magazine you're looking for. So for instance, if you say, hey, I have a Glock 19 Gen 5, I need a magazine. All right, no problem. I can go get that. Or a holster. I got a Glock 19 Gen 5, I need a holster. I can go get that. I don't need you to take the gun off your hip and say, hey, this is what I have. It's up to you to know what firearm you're carrying.
Right, that is
Keep
correct.
your firearm on your person, and a lot of issues will be avoided, I promise you.
As a consumer, real quick tidbit before I see our time. We got a new timer so we can make sure that we're covering everything and get into it. As a new firearm, know what you bought.
Correct.
Don't come in and saying, hey, I need a magazine for a Ruger. Okay, you know the manufacturer, but what's the fucking model number?
Or don't come in here saying I need a magazine or a clip for a 9mm.
Yeah, and we don't. You got to help these guys out.
Correct.
Right. Somebody is only as knowledgeable as the information that's given to them.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So they can actually help. Okay. But
and then the customer get mad at you when you're trying to dig for more information. All right.
Right.
You need a magazine for 9mm. Which 9mm? Well, it looked like this. You're not helping us.
Yeah. But as a consumer, let's say this to salesmen that are out there. Try your best not to make the customer feel inferior because they don't know.
Yeah.
But if you have told them, I'm a big proponent of this. I coach football and basketball and different sports in the youth. If I've told you, I'm going to get upset. But if you don't know and I've never told you, I'm not going to get upset because you don't know, right? And I have to give credence to ignorance, and then I educate, and then ignorance after education equals, man, we're going digital.
You see, well, this is why I draw the line now. You just said you teach. That's youth. So
Right.
most of the time, the youth don't know no better.
Right.
We are adults walking around with firearms. It would behoove you to know what the hell you carrying.
But let's say this, right? Psychologically, I was a psych guy in college, right? Most people aren't actually grown mentally until like 25, 27.
All right, then you shouldn't be carrying a firearm.
Well, I'm just saying is this. Not saying they're going to come in and do childish shit, but as far as
that.
They will fake the funk just like a kid will. Did you clean the room? Oh, yeah. But then rush and go do it before you get, you see what I'm saying? So they'll they don't want to seem inferior. They don't want to seem uneducated. So they'll I know you've had this happen, right? At the store where somebody give you and pretend like, oh yeah, I'm an experienced shooter, but they ain't as experienced as they leading up to, because they don't, I think at a certain point, they don't want you to browbeat them.
Correct. I know, I understand that. But listen, you're going to get the best information when you're honest about it.
Right.
That's how I learned, right? Being honest about what I don't know, right? And that way somebody can help you, not what we call fronting.
Right.
You coming in fronting like you know everything. We know you don't know. Once the conversation starts, I know you don't know anything, and now I got to educate you. So now it looks weird. But again, you just got to know what you got, bro.
Yeah.
You got to know what you got.
Okay. So to end this segment of it is the case or the bag, right? Bring a pistol case or bag, or bring a rifle case.
Yeah.
Put it up. It looks a lot better. It's better for the range. It's better for society, or not society.
And you look like you know what you're doing, right? You're not just coming in here. Yeah, you're not just coming in here with a rifle slung across your neck. But look, just because you can do it, that don't mean you should do it.
Have the magazine out of the rifle. Have the magazine out of the gun, like you said earlier, just so it makes everybody else feel safe.
Hey, all right, I'll give you an example. The other day, 2 days ago, I got a phone call. A customer called me. He said, hey, man, I'm in the parking lot. I have a long gun.
I was there.
Correct.
That one?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
He said, I don't have a range bag. What is the proper way to bring it in? Customer, I applaud you. Right? Professional way to do it.
And he ended up being a good kid.
Absolutely. I gave him the intel. Hey, all right, if you don't have a chamber flag, bolt lock back to the red magazine out. And if you can, possibly, take 2 pins out, break it apart for me.
And that's how he came in.
He did exactly that.
And that's how he came in with the rifle in
2 pieces,
lower and upper.
Now, when he come in, nobody feels like, we got to watch this guy, right?
Right.
Because that's what it really is.
Yeah,
somebody come in with a rifle slung across their neck with a magazine, and everybody's watching that person.
Yeah.
So now he comes in with the rifle in 2 halves. Guess what? I know it's him because I just talked to the guy.
Yeah.
He's getting the utmost treatment. He's getting the best treatment I could possibly give him. Hey, I appreciate you, blah, blah, blah. And here's a free range pass.
Hey, and for those who think they know better, customers like us, attentive salesmen like Chuck and the other guys at Bullseye and other locations, we got our eye on you as soon as you come in the
Absolutely.
door. Like I find myself being over. These are my guys, right? I fuck with them the long way, is how we say it in the South, right? I fuck with them the long way.
And I'm from Brooklyn, so pause.
Right. So, yeah, pause. I'm still getting used to the pause shit. Right.
Pause on what he just said.
It is what it is. But we fuck with y'all the long way, meaning we loyal to the soil.
Absolutely.
So we don't want you nefarious shit to go on in your store as much as we don't want it in our own lives.
That's right.
Because y'all are, I consider y'all, my partner,
brother.
family.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Some of them's partners, they ain't all the way family. I'm just being straight up honest with you. That's just how.
If they know, they know.
Right.
We know what it is.
I'm cordial and cool.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But you make it a lot better for everybody in the store just to come in and be compliant. Everybody wants to buck the system, and all these videos on about how to interact with police in your car. Man, forget all that goddamn trying to be righteous.
It all goes back to
if I can give this motherfucker some information real quick and he get the fuck out of my face, and I gotta seem like a pussy or a bitch or something. Man, I can be that for 5 minutes.
No.
not to get no ticket or no jail time or no fucking possible.
Look,
you know what I'm saying?
it all goes
But
back
that
to-
goes the same way with the store.
Right. Just because you could, that don't mean you should.
Right.